Hi, Amy Reelman here, and I'm going to make a video for you on how to organize your Facebook because let's be honest, it gets really overwhelming with all the notifications and the groups that you're supposed to be in. So I just want to say don't stress, and I'm going to show you a few ways to simplify your life, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so you can see my screen right here, and you're probably not in as many groups as I am so far, so yours won't be as chaotic, but I just want to show you how you can organize a little bit better. So when you look in your groups that are listed right here, it's going to show you all of the groups that you're in. What I would recommend is to leave groups that have nothing to do with that you need to be a part of. So if you're in like old groups from high school, college, groups that you don't need to be in anymore, I would just leave the group so that you don't have as much clutter. And the easiest way to do that is to just hit this little star thing on the side, and you can just hit leave group, and then it'll pop up and you can hit this little button to prevent others from adding you back, and then hit leave group, or you can just hit leave group if maybe you want to be added to it at a later time. So I do that, and I honestly do this probably once a month and get rid of groups. Sometimes people add me to groups that I don't even want to be in, and then sometimes the group ends, like if it's a challenge group or something, I don't need to be in it anymore, so I just come in here and remove myself. Okay, so the other thing you're going to want to do is add the groups that you do want to be a part of daily and see on a consistent basis to your favorites. So as you can see, I have some that are added to my favorites. If I wanted to add another one, I could just hit add to favorites and it would be added. To unadd myself from favorites, and so favorites I'm going to explain after, but basically right now it's just add the groups that you want to be in, checking in and seeing more often on a regular basis to your favorites. So, and you can just hit uncheck if you did it on accident. So I have a bunch of groups that I've added to my favorites. Okay, so here's what happens when you add them to your favorites. They pop up on the sidebar at the top instead of popping up down here. So you can see I have a lot of groups that are added to my favorites. It's a good idea maybe to organize them in terms of what groups you want to go into the most. And the way to rearrange them so that you have them in a certain order is to hover over that group and hit this little star thing and hit rearrange. When you hit rearrange, you can drag these in whatever order you want. So I could add that there, and then I would hit done and it would save everything. So I'm actually going to drag that one back, and then I would hit done. And now it's all set, and you can rearrange them. Also, you can delete them from your favorites right here. So remove from favorites or delete if you don't want to be in that group anymore. Leave group. So that just helps you keep organized so you see it at the top. The groups that you should be having at the top are definitely 100% our coach group. That's something you want to be checking in daily. So you want to have that at the top. And then any challenge groups that you're a part of for your own health and fitness, and ones that you're, have your challengers in, and you might not have any challengers yet, but once you do, you're going to want to be a part of that group. Obviously, checking in with them daily and being a part of that group. Also, if you're in like a sneak peek into coaching, which I run once a month, and like free 5-day clean eating groups and whatnot, you'll want those at the top. So here's another thing that I do when I have a new group. I click on the group, and right below the main pager, it says notifications. I always turn these to off. So that way I'm not getting notified on every single post that's coming into the group, because that's going to be a lot of notifications. You're still going to get notified if someone tags you in something or you comment on something and other people start to comment on it as well. So you are going to see those notifications. I think a lot of new coaches, and even myself, get overwhelmed when I keep seeing this button with all these notifications. Sometimes mine says 99 plus. Personally, I don't look at these. I know that I'm going in to go into my coach group every single day. I know that I'm going to go into my challenge groups every single day. So if someone tags me in something and I get a notification of it, I'm already going to be going into that group, so I'm probably going to see that they tagged me anyway. So if you're just, I might tag you in the coach group. So, and you might get a notification up here, and that's great. And I'm just doing that to let you know, like, hey, this is a good thing for you to check out if you want or whatever. But if you're already going in the group, you don't need to necessarily look at these notifications because that can be overwhelming for you. If you do want to quickly just like scroll through them and see like if someone tagged you in something, then you obviously can do that. But I just don't want you to get overwhelmed by this button. So that will help a little bit getting rid of the notifications. Other things in organizing your groups is definitely make sure you're checking if there's pinned posts daily. And then also always check the files tab. So in our coach group, and if you're in a different coach group, yours would be different, but this is my coach group. The files tab is definitely a great tab for you to take a look at because that's where all of like our recording for team calls are, where different scripts for challenge groups and everything is in here. So I just want to make sure that everyone knows on Facebook that those are there for you to look at. And I think that's basically it. I just wanted to show you guys how to organize your groups a little bit. Oh, and then another thing, in case you don't know, this is just where you would type in someone's name to add them to a group if you have a challenge group and you're adding them into the group. And also in the files tab, we do have groups that are running for each month. So like here's the February group, different groups that people have. I personally, in my group, I also post an update post that sits at the top. I'm actually going to pin it so that it's at the top. And that just sits up at the top with updates like the National Wake Up Call, any groups that are coming up with the links. And if you're a new coach, you can join my groups if you're in my group. So those are just some tips on how to stay organized in Facebook. I think that's all. Hopefully I covered everything, and have a good day.